The decontamination step is arguably one of the most important when it comes to detailing your car. It removes all of the fine particulates and things in your paint before you move on to the polishing phase. The reason this is important is because when you go to polish, if there's still stuff on the paint, it might scratch it up, mar it up, and really prevent you from getting a flawless finish that you're looking for. Within the decontamination process, there is a couple different steps. Two of those being the chemical decontamination, like an iron remover, and then there's a mechanical decontamination, which is what we would use a clay bar for. Traditionally, we would use an actual piece of clay, like you see right here. So this is a really tacky piece of clay that you can fold up, rub it across the paint with the lubrication, and then remove all of those fine particulates. We then moved on to a clay mitt or a clay scrubber like this one. It does effectively the same job as the clay bar. It might be slightly less aggressive, but if your car is not super dirty, that's not something you really need to worry about. So that brings us to the Ultra Clay Scrubber from the Rag Company. This is the form of clay that we recommend here at Obsessed Garage, and we'll talk a little bit more about why we like this one specifically and show you how to use it outside on the car. The first thing we like about the Ultra Clay Scrubber is the ergonomics of it. It's a pretty large sponge and it feels really good in your hand to use. It also comes with clay on the front as well as the side for getting into those tighter, more intricate areas. We already deconned this car earlier this morning, so it's had a little time to kind of settle, but I'm going to show you very briefly on how you would use something like this. This would take place after you've done your decon wash, your initial wash, so that's with our decon soap is what we would recommend. You could do your chemical decontamination, rinse that off, and then go to this stage. So we're going to take some waterless wash mix here, so this is McKee's and water mixed together in a Press-All bottle, and we are going to soak down this panel. And you really cannot use too much of this stuff. The more, the better. We'll get some on the sponge. This is already wet. I dipped it into our wash bucket, and we're just gonna put it on the surface, and you'll kind of move it side to side or east-west, north-south. Don't do circles. And we're just gonna scrub, very, very light pressure until we feel the mechanical contaminations going away. Claying is an interesting step because you don't always have to do it. You'll note that you have to do it when you touch the paint and you can feel little bumps, little pieces of sand or anything sap on the actual paint. You can also audibly hear it if you listen closely while you're scrubbing. You should only clay your paint when it needs it. You shouldn't just do it because you think you want to or you think you have to. Another tip you can use if you really can't feel it is to put a plastic bag like a Ziploc on your hand and then run it over the paint, and that will accentuate those bumps. It'll make you feel them a lot better. If you have any questions about mechanical decontaminations or anything detailing, let us know at support@Obsessed Garage. And as always, you can get everything that we showed in this video on our website at obsessedgarage.com.